Holy bargain, Batman. This Cube Stereo 140 has to be one of the best value mountain bikes we've seen come out this season. For $4,000, on paper it is almost too good to be true, and after a few weeks of riding it, we're equally as impressed by its riding as we are with the price tag. Let's look at the frame, the spec, and hear our thoughts after riding. Out of Germany, the Stereo is 140mm travel at the back, 150mm travel fork, built around 27.5-inch wheels. That means it's here for a good time with plenty of travel for getting rowdy and the smaller diameter wheels for a very playful ride. The whole front end is carbon and paired to an aluminium rear end, so you could say it gets the best of both worlds. The stiffness and lively nature of carbon up the front with the impact resistance and less expensive material of aluminium at the back. At 13.5 kilos on the scales, it's actually a lot lighter than you expect for the money. We really like the overbuilt construction of this bike and the huge carbon tubing. The down tube is enormous, and the way the linkage bolts are hidden from view, accessed via the inside of the frame, it gives the bike a sharp and high-end image. Frame geometry-wise, the Stereo doesn't stray too far away from what we're used to from similar brands, from the major players like the Giant Trance, the GT4, Specialized Stump Jump and so on, with a fairly roomy front end and short 425mm chainstays. A 66.5 degree head angle strikes a balance between twitchy and sluggish. It's pretty much on the money. Now let's look at the parts. We keep saying at $4,000 it's highly appealing. A Shimano SLX and XT drivetrain, more than up to the task. You got dual brakes with big rotors, nice and powerful, and a very nice lever feel. And the race face single chainring cranks are a damn sight more suitable to Australian conditions than the double chainring version option of this bike sold in Europe. Phew! The rims are 30mm wide, the Schwalbe tyres are tubeless ready, but it will require additional parts to get tubeless. So get the bike shop to chuck in some tubeless rim strip, valves and sealant, and you're all set. An essential upgrade to really realise this bike's true potential. Suspension wise, the Fox fork and shock are right on the money again. While the Rhythm 34 does feel a little bit less composed than the high level Fox forks, it's super supple and sensitive still, and the 3-position rear shock gives you great control over how you wish the bike to behave when pedaled. A very nifty feature not often found in a bike at this price point. The Stereo has a dropper post too. See, all the ingredients for a real proper thrashing. We had some really great rides on the Stereo on our home trails. Compared to a lot of 29er trail bikes we were riding, the smaller diameter wheels of this thing feels so lively and fast and loves to jump. The 27.5-inch wheels might be compromised to some on the super rough and fast terrain when compared to a 29er, but we think they make up for it in the tight technical single track and the fun sections on the trail. We think the Stereo is a great option for the type of rider who rides aggressively, has the terrain that requires generous amount of suspension travel, and isn't afraid to get airborne. So convert it to tubeless, give the cables a trim, and you're good to go.